Okay, so this is just starting recording for those who won't be able to make it. So basically, the first homework I had asked to look into was to calculate gradient of a straight line when we were given a pair of points, like a couple of points. Okay, so basically we just use the formula which tells us that the gradient is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So it's just a matter of choosing which one is x1, y1, and x2, y2. So for the first point, A and B here, so the answer should be m. The gradient for the line AB is, so y2, in this case, I've got 4 for the value 4, minus 1, y1, divided by 3 minus 2. Obviously, when you pick x1, y1, you need to make sure that they are from the same point, the same x2, y2. So the first one should have been a value of 3. The second one we did as a group, we had found -2. For C, the line EF, we can call it a line EF because it joins 2 points, would have been 5 minus -3 divided by 1 minus -1. So when you minus a negative, it's the same as adding a positive. So 5 minus -3 becomes 5 plus 3, whereas 1 minus -1 is just 1 plus 1. So we end up with 8 over 2, or 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Okay. So gradient of 4, again positive gradient for that one. For the next one, MGH, -1 minus 2, that would give us a -3, divided by -4 minus -7, which is a +7. And then the final answer should be -3 over 3, which is just -3 divided by 3, -1. Next one, again, so I'm just picking here x2, y2, and x1, y1. So up to you, 7 minus 5, 1 plus 2, so that's 2/3, 2 over 3. G, -2, -8, that would be -10. Oh, sorry, -2 minus -8, which is -2 plus 8, which is going to be, so it looks like that should have been 5, -3 minus -7. Okay, so that should have been 5 over 4. So I'll fix that. Let me fix that pen. So that should have been a +5 divided by 4, which is just 5 over 4. Okay. This is just to show when sometimes you try to do things too quickly, it's so easy to just miss something. So if I had done the working, I would have spotted straight away. It's just because I was doing it quickly when I was putting it together. So the answer should have been +5 over 4, not -5 over 4. Okay, so positive gradient again. So we did this one, -4 over 3 together. And the last one is between, oh, sorry, that was M and N, -2, -3. So that was me not following the line. Sorry, guys. Let me fix that. This should have been for M and N. For Mn, it's this -2, -3, which is -5, -3 minus -7, which is -3 plus 7 over 4, so -5 over 4. Whereas MPQ is -2 plus 8, which is 6, -3 plus 7, which is 4. And then you need to simplify that. They both even numbers, so we can divide them both by 2. You get 3 over 2. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not aligned here. I think I didn't have enough space to put the fractions. So MPQ is there. And the last one is MTU. So again, 5 minus 10, which is 15, divided by minus 3 minus 9, which becomes plus 9, 15 over 6. So this time you can divide both by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay, any question on calculating gradient? I think the only difficulty here is to be aware of integers and how to take away a negative number, etc. Okay. Question 6 here. C is the point -1, -7. So again, x1, y1, and D is x2, y2. Find x if the gradient is -2 over 5. So first thing first, I just write my gradient is -5 minus -7, which becomes -5 plus 7. And x2 is x minus -1, which becomes x plus 1. So now I've got to arrange this in order to get x somewhere above as a numerator rather than becoming at the back there. So what we do for this is I'm going to just write what I've got here, 2 over x plus 1. So sometimes you hear teachers telling you can flip them across. So what I like to do is to get rid of that x plus 1, this is divide by x plus 1. I just need to time the top by x plus 1. And if I time the top by x plus 1, I need to time that top as well with x plus 1. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. So you end up with x plus 1 here. So 2 times x plus 1, that would become 2 times 1. And here I get 2 times x plus 1 divided by 5. Okay? So if I was to time this side by x plus 1, so I've got -2 times x plus 1. So you end up with -2 times x plus 1 divided by 5 equal 2. Yeah? So to get rid of the 5, I need to time by 5 this side and time by 5 this side. So you end up with -2 times x plus 1 equal 5 times 2, which is 10. Then after that, to get rid of the -2, I divide by -2 both sides. And that's how you end up with x plus 1 equal -5, because 10 divided by 2 is -5. So you end up here. X plus 1 equal -5. And to get rid of the plus 1, what's the, yeah, you take away 1 on each side. So -5 minus 1, x equal -6. And that was what they were asking me to find. Find x. In order to have the gradient equal to -2 over 5, x has got to be equal to -6. Okay. It's a bit long-winded, but so then we looked at all this, we did this. And homework 2, we were to consider the points T, U, V, and W, and we were asked to show that TU and VW are parallel. So basically, for the line to be parallel, you need to have both gradient equal. So MTU equal MVW. So that's what they've asked us to check. And if that's the case, then they are parallel. So TU is MTU 3 minus minus 5, that's 3 plus 5, 8. 5 divided by 2 minus 3 over 2, which is 5 over 2 plus 3 over 2. So I've got 8 over 2 at the bottom. 8 over 2 is 4. And at the top, I've got 8. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we've calculated the first gradient. We do the same for the second one, between V and W. So 40 over 5 divided by 8 over 2, which is 4. 40 over 5 is 8. So 8 divided by 4 equal 2. So we've proven that MTU equal MVW. That means those two lines are parallel. Okay. So again, this is just practice on fractions. If they've got the same denominator, that's easy enough. 40. So sometimes you see it written like that. That means TU is parallel to VW. Okay, so here we were asked again to show that we've got a rhombus, so opposite sides are parallel and all sides are equal. So we're going to check that they are parallel, and later on when we look at vectors, we'll be able to find out how to calculate the length, the distance between the 2 points. Okay, so at the moment we're just going to do half the work. So the first one is calculating MPQ. Then the next one was to calculate MRS. So PQ and RS. So once we've calculated those two, we can say that PQ is parallel to RS. Then we calculate MQR and MPS. Again, they've got the same value. So those are, so positive with the 2, and then the 2 negative ones. So we've got QR parallel to PS. No, it's not PS. QR, yeah, PS. So opposite sides are parallel with the gradient. And like I said, we'll do the distance in another lesson. Okay. So that was the first part of the homework. The second part of the homework was when we did